This is Daniel Smith, and welcome to Jets Guru.
Check it out.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And here is Daniel Smith.
What is going on, Jet fans out there? I'm just sharing to the masses. For those that didn't know, just found out myself. I was busy with a little bit of work. I started getting texts from some of my buddies, and there it is. Sam Darnold gone. Traded! Just like Jets Guru said was going to happen. And I told you, listen, man, I'm so happy that the Jets are handling themselves like real pro organization. Aren't you? I mean, this is exactly what I wanted, not only for the New York Jets, but for Sam Darnold, because this kid doesn't deserve the situation that was put on him. Now, if Sam Darnold was in his second year, I would say you got to run it back one more time. But in his third year, going into his fourth year, the amount of pressure that came with being the quarterback of the New York Jets on a 2-win team, I just think it was too much, too many expectations for a new thing, new playbook, new coaching staff. New players. We could pretty much say that his time was done watching him play. Now, again, a different scenario. A year ago, in his second year, maybe you go, all right, we keep him around for another year. But going into the fourth year is just too much pressure, because here's the thing. They didn't draft Sam Darnold, okay? The coaching staff didn't draft Sam Darnold. Joe didn't draft Sam Darnold. So it's one of those things where there's no connection to him at all. And there's a lot riding on the line, okay? 5-year deal for Joe Douglas left. 5-year deal for Saleh. You already know LaFleur is going to be gone in about 2 or 3 years before he gets his own chance at a head coaching job, right? So you want to get the ball rolling here. This is a stacked AFC. You saw what the Dolphins did. You've been seeing what the Bills have been doing. You saw the Patriots spend a ton of money, overpaid, but they needed to get themselves back into play. Belichick didn't want to be stuck in that position again. We talked about a loaded AFC that has a ton of good quarterbacks, and they're only going to be getting better. This is not the time to put all your chips in the Sam Darnold basket, not just for yourself, but for him. Because you know what? The Jets didn't do enough for Sam Darnold. They didn't do enough to get this kid weapons and an offensive line that was suitable. Now, before you get into this and that, I know all of it. I know too well, because you guys would kill me because of what I was saying about Sam Darnold. Well, clearly they thought similar things. They needed to move on. But you needed to have a strong foundation. And to me, more than the players, more than the offensive line, right? Because you saw Herbert, he didn't have a great offensive line. He played well. He had some weapons, right? Burrows, he played well, didn't have a good offensive line. There's other people who didn't have great offensive lines and were able to play well in this league, right? Both rookies and both pros. But the difference to me was the scheme. When you look at a guy, right, like Sam Darnold, you need to put the scheme around him that fits. Hiring Adam Gase wasn't the way to go. Keeping Todd Bowles, okay? Now, I know the Jets played inspire offensive football, won more games than we thought. And so they won Todd Bowles. We need to stop this in the NFL. We need to stop saying, well, He won his job back because he won 5 games and they were expected to win 1. That's not good enough, because to me, they fired Johnny Morton, whose offense would have fit a lot better with Sam Darnold's personality, especially coming right out of college, where they could have got the ball rolling and got him used to a more fluid pushing the ball down the field because he was a passing coordinator. Bowles fires him because he passes the ball too much. They get Sam Darnold. They bring Jeremy Bates in. His offense is so vanilla, so boring, and it only put more pressure on Sam Darnold without the weapons to press. Okay? Now, as an individual and a professional, yes, he is a young kid, but you're still a millionaire playing for a billion-dollar organization, which is the NFL, okay? You need to go and you need to do the things that make you better. Work on your footwork, your mechanics, you being able to read the field. And what we saw with Sam Darnold, like we see with many failed quarterbacks across the league, is that the talent regressed. Once the league figured out what Sam Darnold does best, which is moving outside of the pocket, he doesn't step well up into the pocket. A lot of that has to do with the offensive line, but he still didn't look comfortable. Even when the offensive line would block for him, he didn't look comfortable, okay? That they realized outside, so they would lock it down. They would literally just say, we are going after you, and you need to prove to us that you could push the ball down the field, okay? And that's what they did. You can only block so many, and then you have to make quick decisions, and you have to make sound decisions. And what we found is that Sam Darnold, his progression as a quarterback going up started teetering. And then you started seeing things that you overlooked. And I went back and I started looking at tape and I said, it has to just be this season, right? It has to be just Adam Gase. It can't be Sam Darnold. It can't be the guy who I looked at in his first and second year and said, there could be possibly something here. This kid played good football to close out the seasons, but he struggled in a lot of the other parts of the season. And we forget as Jet fans about that. We only talk about the fact that he closed the seasons out well. We didn't speak about all the other mediocre games. And then I started looking at other young quarterbacks across the league who didn't have great weapons or who didn't have great offensive lines or had losing records as well. And I'm looking around, I'm just not seeing that talent. I'm not seeing that top talent. I'm not seeing that decision-making that's going to push us to the next level. And here's the thing. Here's the caveat of it all. We have to fix everything, absolutely everything this offseason because we can't wait. We can't wait for Sam Darnold like we can for some of the other rookie quarterbacks to develop over year 1 and year 2 while resetting the money, while getting better players here. We can't do that because we're going to have to pay Sam Darnold $18+ million in his 5th-year option. And to me, if you bring Sam Darnold back and he's your main guy, you had to actually throw a contract at him too. Because I don't think he would have played that bad in this system. I still don't think he's a top 10 quarterback. I still don't think he's a quarterback that could push you over the edge if need be. And if that's the case, if that's what we're going at, if that's what we're looking for once in our franchise history, we got to go back to damn Joe Namath to find a guy electric, a guy who could take you over the top. We've seen it. We've seen guys like Chad Pennington, one of the most accurate quarterbacks in franchise history. He couldn't take us over the edge because he didn't have the arm to push it down the field. And that is even more so what this game is about today. And so when I look at Sam Darnold, can he be Ryan Tannehill? That's what they say. I don't know because Ryan Tannehill was putting up great stats, okay, compared to Sam Darnold. His stats look great compared to Sam Darnold when he was in Miami, before he even got to Tennessee. And Sam Darnold is supposed to have a better skill set, right? He's supposed to be a better prospect than what Ryan Tannehill was. Well, how many times in the draft have we said, this guy is a great prospect, and he's failed? That could be for Zach Wilson. That could be for Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, anybody. He's going to be great. They get to the NFL, they're not great. Even if you put players around them, sometimes they're not great. Mark Sanchez, an example. When he got to his 3rd year, wasn't ready, wasn't that guy. Went to other teams, never revived his career. We were right all along. We got the guy we didn't want. We wanted Stafford. We settled, right? We settled. Could that be happening now with Wilson? We don't know. And you don't, I don't, Joe Douglas doesn't know. You're just making informed decisions as a GM. You're looking forward and you're saying, does this guy fit our system? Does his skill set translate to a guy who could be a top 10 quarterback? And that's why when you're looking at a guy like Zach Wilson, you're saying we could start fresh. We could reset the money. Everyone's saying keep Sam Darnold and build around him. Okay, well, I'll draft Zach Wilson and I'll build around him. It's one pick. You act like if you draft Zach Wilson, all the other picks disappear. That's certainly not the case. You still have 8 other draft picks. Now you have even more because the Jets trade Sam Darnold. They get a second rounder, which was reports. That's what we wanted, right? You have to be happy with this deal. Even if you're a Sam Darnold fan and you're like, all right, I kind of trust the coach and staff they brought in. If they trade him, that means they didn't want him here. Okay, I get that. What could we get for him? I don't want to give Sam away for a 3rd or 4th rounder. If we get Sam for a 3rd or 4th rounder, I might as well should have kept Sam. And you know what? I wasn't too in the dumps about that idea because I didn't want to get rid of Sam Darnold for a 4th round pick only as well. Because to me, if you can't keep Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson on the same roster and they can't, like the rookie can't move forward because Sam Darnold's in the back or Sam Darnold can't move forward because Zach Wilson is behind him, then I don't want him here in New York anyways, right? Why do I want a quarterback here that can't handle a little competition? Because honestly, I want the Jets to go out and get a veteran quarterback that could push the needle a little bit for some of these young guys. I don't like just handing the ball off. I don't like handing the ball off to young guys without any competition. That's why I like Josh McCown. I like Josh McCown in New York because Josh McCown, we all started to fall in love with little Uncle Josh, right? We're like, man, making fun of him, helicopter in Cleveland. Remember when we hit him and he helicoptered in the end zone and he fumbled the ball? Remember that? Like, that's what we thought about Josh McCown until he came to New York. And then when he came to New York, we got excited because his personality was that of the rest of the players. Everybody loved Uncle Josh. Uncle Josh is playing pickup basketball. Uncle Josh is throwing dimes to Robbie Anderson down the field. Almost had 2,000-yard receivers. And so he was a respectable backup to put behind a young quarterback. And so I could have vibed with that. I really could have if the 4th rounder was all you're going to get. But you started looking, right? I said, Joe should get rid of Sam Darnold before the draft. I said this on Jets Guru Thursday, right before Wilson's pro day on Friday. And I said, if the Jets go there and they send everybody, they're just confirming what they've already seen on tape. And so if everything matches up, you should be trying to move Sam Darnold as quick as possible. Not wait till the draft and wait for somebody to throw something at you or whatever. No. You already know what you want. Do the young man a solid. And you know what? Here's another point that nobody is making. The Jets always take heat. Right, for not doing right by players. But Joe Douglas has been trying to do right by players, getting them out of New York. He did not sign a lot of these guys when he came here. He's building the team in his image. He sent McClendon to Tampa Bay. He sent, Williamson to Pittsburgh. He sent Le'Veon Bell to Kansas City. Okay? He sent Sam Darnold to the Panthers, who have Christian McCaffrey, who have Robbie Anderson, who he's familiar with. So it helps his progression in that system that he's going to be learning. So I believe that Joe Douglas is sending a clear message to the NFL like, hey, listen, man, we're trying our best to change who we are here. We're trying to build a new franchise. And it's one important thing, too. Another important thing about Joe Douglas. When he was with the Ravens are a class act organization that's spoken about all across the league. All across the league. Yes, and I'm entitled to my own opinions, but you're watching my show, so I'm going to say what I want. Okay? And it's an opinion. I'm not Miss Cleo. I don't know what's going to happen. Okay? But Joe Douglas, all right, in Baltimore, class act organization, do things the right way. Philly, when he got here and he got there and they were going through their little run, doing it the right way. He's trying to do that in New York. He's trying to erase some of those things that people look at the New York Jets. Oh, all the New York Jets do is they overpay for players, right? That was the one moniker the Jets always had. They overpay for players. Joe Douglas is starting to change that. No, we're not. We're not going to overpay for players, okay? We're not going to do that. We have a value, and if the player meets that value, then we'll spend. And the reason why you do this is he learned this in Baltimore. You build your team through the draft. And if you draft well, you don't have to spend exorbitant amounts of money in one offseason to fix everything. Okay? You don't have to. He's been telling you this all along. We need to build through the draft. We need to build through the draft. Last year was his first draft, not his second, first draft, okay? Because of the funky hiring and firing of people that the Jets like to do in the past. We're moving forward now, right? So the way I look at it is this. He's erasing a lot of different things. He's changing the dynamic of this Jets team. And then you look at trades. He's gotten the better of a few trades since he's been here, both in the draft and both bringing players to the New York Jets. He fleeced Seattle for first-round picks because Seattle thought they were a safety away from winning the Super Bowl, found out that they weren't, okay? And now the Jets make out with 2 first-rounders. And now they have one next year. And they have an additional second-round pick next year. And they have an additional fourth-round pick next year. So you got a 2, a 4, and a 6 for Sam Darnold. You can't beat that. You really can't. And you put Sam in a position where if Sam Darnold's going to revive his career, this is a perfect place. Your old receiver, dynamic running back, new team that played a lot better the year after. Teddy Bridgewater most likely starts. So you could probably sit, well, maybe, I don't know, I don't know about that. But listen, if I was them, I would let Sam Darnold have some time to digest things, not just rush and throw him into expectations. Because to me, that's what the Jets would have done. And it would have been an absolute disaster to throw him into his 4th year with expectations coming off a 2-win team. Most likely the Jets win 5, 6 games next year. If you're lucky, 7. That schedule's not great, okay? It's not terrible, and it depends how it breaks out, but it's not great. So the way I look at it is everybody wins. It's a win-win. JR, producer, I need to hear from you. What's your
man?
take on this? Are you happy with what's going on with the New York Jets here in this trade of Sam Darnold?
Yeah, I'm happy on both ends. You know what I mean? Sam can start his new career, new journey with a new team. I think we kind of did him wrong. Didn't have much help for him. And we can finally maybe get our franchise quarterback.
Yep, and that's how I feel. And now it comes down to we pretty much know it's going to be Zach Wilson, but you never know. Things can change up. Things could definitely change up. And there also could be other chatter here is, what if somebody comes to the Jets and throws the house at them? The Jets make a little bit of a step down, but could still secure another quarterback that's in that draft and pick up an absolute haul. Maybe they just didn't believe in Sam Darnold. Maybe they just didn't want to run it back for a guy that they didn't draft. And, again, Sam Darnold's not the same prospect that he was coming out of college. Guys, you have to remember that. When they get to the pros and NFL defenses figure these guys out, their stock changes. It is not the same player. You now have to look at them how they are now and then go from there and evaluate. So this is a big trade for the Jets. This is going to put all that chatter away leading up to the draft of, is Sam Darnold our quarterback? Is Wilson or Fields or whoever it is he our quarterback? I think we could put that to bed now as Jet fans and stop talking about it. And I think at the same time, you can't sit here and say Zach Wilson is not going to be a good quarterback for the Jets. You don't know that. You don't know that just as much as I don't know Fields or Trevor Lawrence or any of these guys. Listen, I truly believe it matters who is in the building. And I believe that the Jets finally got it right. They empowered their GM. Their GM was able to pick a head coach that fit what they wanted to do. And remember, Saleh is a videotape guy. He's a film guy. That's how he came up. That's how he came up. This isn't some guy who's going to sit there and we call him a guru of offensive football, and then he's just sitting there with his board scribbling while the rest of the team is alienated around him. That is not Saleh. Saleh's he's a football guy. He's pumped. He's a defensive guy. He's going to bring some energy to the table. And then what did he do? He came out and said, LaFleur's running the offense. That's why I hired the guy, right? That's why you hire an offensive coordinator. You don't hire an offensive coordinator to have him sit next to you just for a title. Oh, well, he does some things in practice for us. What? He's your offensive coordinator. That means he coordinates The offense. And if you're a head coach, you're supposed to be doing a hell of a lot of other things than just focusing on the offense, which is what the Jets were doing. And now I believe you have a synchronicity of sorts of minds, of personalities. Okay. It seems like the guys that are in the building now, they fit, right? Adam Gase and Mac, they don't fit. You know, Adam Gase, no matter what you think about him, he's a football guy too. But he's more of like that behind the scenes, writing it down type of thing, right? And Mac was a cap guy. He's a money guy. And it just didn't match up. It wasn't a good matchup. It wasn't a good hire. The Jets leaned too heavily on people outside of the organization. The best thing that they got out of this whole scenario is the fact that Adam Gase brought in Joe Douglas because he was a hot GM candidate anyways. Regardless, the Jets would have been looking at him for their potential vacancy at GM no matter what. And so just the connection between him and Gase to be able to pull him that way, that is the best thing that we could have done for this team. And now the owners have sat back and said, all right, we've done it our way. It hasn't worked. We're going to let our actual GM do something about it. And I'm super excited because now we have a synchronicity between scheme, coaching staff, GM. So we're not going to have guys brought into free agency that don't fit what Robert Saleh wants to do. And that's what was so important this offseason. Listen to the interviews of all the players that the Jets brought in. What were some of the things that they were saying, guys? They were telling us how we're going to be paired next to Quinnen Williams and how we're going to do this and that. Like Saleh said this, okay, to these players. So they're working together, offensive and defensively. This isn't Mac bringing in Mosley and getting Bell and getting these other guys, and then you hear leaks and reports out that Adam Gase didn't really want these guys, which they said, oh, it was the media. No, that was a real thing, man. He didn't want Adam Gase. Adam Gase didn't want him there, and it just didn't work out for them that way. This is different. This is a scheme team. We actually have players coming to the Jets, and this is why it's not always going to look flashy, because they're going to be picking up players that are pieces in the system itself. This is how successful organizations do things. It is not just go out and spend money on flashy guys. Now, Joe Douglas, I know everyone's concerned about the offensive line. Joe Douglas went out last year and brought in all new starters. How did that work out? Now, everyone says, well, you got to pick better players. Vin Rotten was an up-and-coming player coming off an injury who played better that year, had a chip on his shoulder, and he was trending upwards. McGovern, he was supposed to be a really good center. He's supposed to be a guy 27, 28 years old who's supposed to play good football for the Jets. Alex Lewis had a good season towards the end, so they brought him back more of just a filler role. They got Fant from Seattle, who played well again, coming off of injury, chip on his shoulder. He was supposed to play left tackle, but got moved to right because we drafted Becton. So he addressed the offensive line last year all at one time. It didn't work out. McGovern was hurt, didn't play well. Vin Rotten was nah. Lewis was nah. And F-line, I don't care. You guys need to get off of that. He was too, all right? Becton, we got Becton and we got Fant. Those are the only two guys on the line. He had a different approach this year. He wasn't going to go out and overspend for guys, again, mediocre talent or guys on the trend, but throw money at them that didn't fit. When you have 9 picks in the draft to handle your situation, why can't you draft a quarterback at 2 and then get a center at 23 and then get a guard if you wanted to, or a corner, or flip-flop, however you want it, corner, guard, center, with that 23 pick and that first pick in the second round, and then you have all your other picks as well. And here's the kicker, right? The Jets have about $50 million in cap space right about now for next year. That's what we're going to have. Another opportunity to look at your roster, see if you like Cameron Clark, if you like some of the other pieces that you have brought in, and see, okay, is this going to fit? Because why go out and spend all your money in one off season? What are the chances that you're going to hit, right? Just do the math. You don't really hit all the time on free agency in the draft as it is, right? It's spotty. So now you're going to sign everybody in one offseason class and expect them to hit? No. You got Fant last year. You got McGovern, who I don't like personally, really, but they have to, because of the contract, either slide him to guard or he's going to start at center again. So now this year, hopefully in the draft, you get a center or a guard, right? And then next year, you go into free agency, okay, with a second-year quarterback, and you pick up a center or a guard, or you actually have the extra second rounder from the Panthers, the fourth rounder. You got the extra first rounder from Seattle. You see what I'm saying, man? Be more excited, damn it. You see what I'm saying? It's not that dire if you look at it that way. And then what are you doing? You're building through the draft. You're bringing in young players on controllable deals. And then you can go sniping. Then in free agency, I can go out and I could snipe a receiver, a running back, a defensive end, a veteran who's looking for a Super Bowl run or whatever it is. That's when you go out and spend money like that. Like I'm going to bring him on a year or two deal. I'm going to get one of these guys and then have him get me 6-7 sacks. You see what I'm saying? It's not that dire. You can't just go out and buy a whole free agency class when you were a 2-win team with a stacked division, with a stacked conference and expect it to work. By the time the Jets are good, a lot of these faces that we see here may not even be here anyways. Okay, by year 3, that's where I have every quarterback you draft. By year 3, you got to start showing me some serious stuff. Okay, that's when the Jets should be good. But next year, if we pick up a nice center guard combo we have 8 picks after Wilson or Fields or whoever, we got 8 picks. We could get a guard in the center. Okay, and then next year in free agency, we play the season. If it doesn't work the way we want, we can attack that free agency guard center. If that doesn't work, we have the draft, extra picks, extra first, extra second to handle it as well. So when you take off the immediate blinds, that I know we haven't made the playoffs, guys. I know it's tough. I watch the games like you. I spend money like you, even maybe more so than some of you guys. I'm spending a lot of this stuff, right? And a time and money and all this kind of stuff. I know it's tough. It really, really is to have to cover a team that doesn't win and have to do it every Thursday and have to people coming at you telling you you're not the guru, that you're just some guy that you should shut up, right? For a losing team. But I believe I was born in this, right? So I can't stop. I won't stop. And so I'm here with you guys struggling too, but you got to take the long-term approach. The Jets never rebuild, ever. It's always like we're sort of going to rebuild and then we're just going to grab somebody. We're just going to grab somebody and we're going to try to we're going to try to do it real quick. Get to 8-8, get to 9-7. Let's just get in the playoffs. We get in the playoffs, we make a run. No. Let's go back. Let's rebuild from square one. Let's get affordable contracts in here. Let's get guys that fit the scheme, not just the name and just the money. Okay? Let's bring in a quarterback who has the potential to be a top 10 talent, not a mediocre 15 to 20. Bring in a guy who can electrify your team. Joe Douglas said that he wanted to have big plays. He wanted to be a team that pushes the ball down the field. I think Wilson or Fields is more equipped to do that than Sam Darnold is. Regardless of who you like, I think either of those guys are more equipped than Sam Darnold to run that offense that they're going to run and be successful while keeping the money.
Hey, I think we all like to know who the guru likes at number 2, quarterback wise.
I like Zach Wilson. That's just
Zach.
me.
Yeah, me too. I see a lot of Phil guys though.
Yeah, I like his mechanics. I like how quick his movement is within the pocket. I like his release, how quick it is, and I like his placement on the ball, pushing the ball down the field. Like he throws the ball almost like a baseball player. I like how his body leads into the throw. It gives you a little bit more arm strength the way he steps in and he torques his hips.
Yeah.
I just like it. If you see a back foot throw from him, that's just being him fancy, showing off his arm. But it's not him falling into bad mechanics. When Sam would get zero blitzed and backpedal and throw, that was bad mechanics, what you saw, and that's why he struggled. So there's a difference in that type of a play. To me, Sam is better utilized on the outside where he could roll out. So I think not just that, I think Sam Darnold also, he needs to have time to actually sit and learn a playbook. I mean, the poor guy is 23 years old and he's already on his 3rd playbook. It would be nice for him to actually have like no pressure and to just like go in there, learn, like let a veteran start the season for a little bit. And then you could yank him and then throw Sam in, you know what I mean? Because you got to see what Sam's worth. You gave up a 2, a 4, you gave up a 6. You want to see if he's going to be that guy, because remember, they now have his rights to be able to decide the 5th-year quarterback thing, which they'll pick up. So this is like almost like a 2-year tryout for Sam in a sense.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and so this year is really important for him because he may not start right away, but he will get a chance to, and probably sooner than later. But I hope he actually has some time to sit and really get comfortable with his surroundings, because he seems like he's a nice young man, and I don't have anything personal against him. He's just not what we need right now.
One last question.
Yeah,
one last question for you, Dan. All right, so Sam Darnold's out of New York. What's your best memories of Sam and your worst?
Best memories from Sam
And
is the Buffalo game where he rolled out and like they almost had him like three or four times, and he rolled out, came back to the left side, and then he threw a strike to Robbie Anderson, I believe, in the end zone.
Yep.
That was my favorite play from him. The worst from him, there's a lot of worst, man.
There is.
Any of the interceptions where he stared down a receiver is the worst for me. Holding the ball too long on the sideline, taking a coverage sack or a fumble, stuff like that. It's just in your third year. It's really tough for me. And it just really started to, like I said, year 3 for me with quarterbacks are huge, because you have to ultimately make that decision, going into the 4th year for the 5th. And I just think you want that established by year 3. You should know what you have, at least talent wise. And again, how much better is Sam Darnold going to be in 5 months? How much better can you get in 5 months learning a new system? If LaFleur was here last year and then Sam was going to his 2nd year, you could say, well, he has a better grasp of the playbook, which means he should play faster. He shouldn't have to think as much. He's going to be thinking a whole bunch, man. There's going to be a lot going on. I think a fresh start for him is going to be more exhilarating, more exciting for him. And if he doesn't have to start right away, I think it's even better for him. And I think this is a win-win for both teams, because you could see Sam Darnold having success with the Panthers. He has a few weapons now, so there's no excuses for him. It wasn't like we traded him to the worst team in the league. This is a team that just got, Matt Rule in. The Jets, were looking at him, and he has that connection with Robbie, and Robbie has the connection with the coach. So, they're going to design some nice plays, for Sam and Robbie to be able to get them going. They have some weapons there. I mean, when you got Christian McCaffrey, nobody's caring about Sam Darnold. Everybody's worrying about what McCaffrey's going to do. And so I think, a nice mix of some play action, swing that damn ball out to McCaffrey on the right-hand side. You'll be good. Sam, I could see Sam throwing for 25 touchdowns, like 15 interceptions or something like that. And everyone will be like, oh, Sam's playing better. Yeah, he's playing better. You better play better. You got McCaffrey next to you doing all the damn work. You got Robbie Anderson on the left side. Who else do they got? Is it Samuels? Did they bring Samuels back or no? Samuels gone. I think Samuels is gone, right? Guys,
not for sure.
I think Samuels is gone, but they have some weapons there, man, to get it going. So as far as I'm concerned, this is a win-win. Nobody could be mad about this. I don't think Sam Darnold could be mad about this. And not just that, hey, the Panthers don't have to – oh, man, check this out. The Panthers don't have to trade their first-round pick. So then they can go and get another weapon for Sam Darnold, right?
Samuels is with the Washington Redskins now.
DJ Moore. Thank you, Nick. There's another one. DJ Moore. So he has weapons, man. So there's going to – this is a good place for him. A lot of people were saying the Bears. The Bears, like, it would be good for us, because I felt like the Bears would give up more than some other teams. But as far as a fit for the future of Sam Darnold's career, I think the Panthers are great. What's up?
Sorry, Samuel's actually signed with the Washington football team, 3-year deal.
Okay, so Samuel's with Washington. Oh. I got a question. Well, I guess if you like what they're doing, what they're bringing in, you got Tyler Heineke out there or something, and
Fitzmagic.
You got Fitzmagic. I mean, whatever. I mean, it'll be fun. Fitz is going to be wearing some weird clothes. I can't stand that guy. It's like I like him and I hate him. I hate him because I hated watching him play football. I hated watching Fitzpatrick throw that football, man. It was just, man, you never saw a player who'd be so hot and so cold at the same time. When Fitzpatrick was cold, he was one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm like, what is he doing, man? But he's funny. He's electric. He's inspiring. When he gets all pumped up, the players seem like they buy into it. Everybody seems to like him, so he seems like he might be a fun guy to be around. But but listen, at the end of the day, Sam Darnold gets to go to a place I think he can revive his stock. The Jets get multiple picks that I didn't think they were able to get. They have 9 picks, and now they have 10 picks this year, where they have 11 picks next year, and we're not done yet. We don't know if Joe Douglas is going to trade up and down. You don't know what he has planned for this roster, but I'm pretty sure that the Jets are going to take a quarterback at number 2 now. So get excited, guys, because this is going to be the summer of a new quarterback, a new beginning, new beginning coaching staff, a new beginning scheme, a new beginning quarterback. We got Corey Davis. We got Keelan Cole. We got Jamison Crowder. We got Denzel Mims. Okay. Ooh. We don't know who the running back by committee is going to be yet, but I like it. Okay. I like it. We got Quinnen Williams. We got Lawson. We got Rankins. We got CJ Mosley coming back. Okay. So listen, it's not all that bad, right? It's shaping up like a rebuild should with no pressure. Now you have no pressure. Now you can. Dude, we are skating on solid ice right now. Now there's no pressure. You draft a quarterback, there's no pressure. No one expects the Jets to do anything with the rookie quarterback. So you go out there, you win 4 games, you win 5 games with the rookie, everyone's going to be excited, okay? The Dolphins are going to be really good. The Bills are going to be really good. You got a ton of teams in the AFC. It's not as easy as it seems. It's the AFC is the tougher conference, in my opinion, with the better quarterback talent. So with you drafting a rookie quarterback at 2, pressure's off, man. Just go out there and play, kid. Whoever it is, go out there, sling the ball around, fall into the system, let the system work for him. Get a good running back by committee to protect your quarterback. A lot of play action, right? You're going to see play action. You're going to see a lot of pre-snap movement in this offense with LaFleur to try to decipher what the defense is going to do, to create openings for the offense, quick ins and outs, get the offense clicking. I like it, okay? So the pressure is off. Now you can rebuild the right way, okay? You could get the stink out of the building. You could be a destination that invites players who have energy, who want to play, not because they want to use the Jets as a bargaining piece to get a bigger contract, but they want to play for the Jets because the Jets are putting together a young squad that hopefully in the next 2 or 3 years will be competing within the AFC East. And if the Jets for some reason put it all together in year 1, which it's happened before, then that's just gravy. That's just gravy. It's gravy. It's gravy. So everybody wins today on Monday morning, baby. The Mets have opening day today. I'm stoked. You got the Knicks versus the Nets. This is a beautiful day. Sam Darnold's gone. We get multiple picks that we didn't think we were going to get. We trade him to a good place, so our conscience is clear that we didn't send him to the Wolves, baby. Knicks, Mets, let's get it. I'm out of here. Jets Guru, appreciate all your support. Please share. Share. We don't talk politics. We don't curse. We don't do any of that nonsense. All Jets football, all love, all family. Please check us out. If you like audio podcasts, you listen in your car, you listen at the beach, when you're working on your car, when you're playing basketball, whatever you're doing, type in Jets Guru. We're on iTunes. We're on Spotify. We're everywhere that you can listen to podcasts. We're there. Just type in Jets Guru.
Cool. I got an announcement to make. All right, we're on YouTube, guys. So I'm trying to if we get 200 subscribers, our number 2 pick, the winner will be randomly picked after we get 200 subscribers on YouTube, and you will win a free jersey. Send me your size, and I will mail you the number 2 pick for the New York Jets. 200 subscribers. 200 subscribers.
So there it is. There it is. The number 2 jersey of whoever you want being sent out. Right? I mean, you can't beat this. Get a free jersey. Get us to 200 likes on YouTube. We're trying to spread it and push our influence there. We do a great job on Facebook. We're trying to bring it to YouTube so we could get some resources, you know what I mean? So we could get better things for this show and better things for all of us, right? I'm putting in the hard work. JR's putting in the hard work. You guys are putting in the hard work being Jet fans. So get out there and try to get something free for yourself. Get a free jersey from our producer, JR.
Yep.
Go on to YouTube, type in Jets Guru, subscribe and share, please. And once we get to 200, we will pick a random winner from our Jets Guru page. So make sure you go on there and you like and subscribe to our page on Facebook as well so we could tag you if you are the lucky winner. So thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are amazing. Have a great Monday. Be safe out there. Spring is on the way. The Jets are on the move, baby. I'm super excited. Stink is out of the building. Peace.
Jets, 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 Jets.
All I hear, go get the money. So I go get it. Hate means I do something right.